Welcome to Gail Wickersham Stadium for today's soccer match. I'm Trent Jones. I'll be your commentator today. In the first half, we'll look at the evolution of soccer and how it's changed. At halftime, we'll look at the rules and laws of soccer. And in the final half, we're going to look at the positions and break them down. It looks like the game's about to kick off, so let's begin. FIFA.com states that there's no documentation about who actually invented soccer, but over the past 100 years, there's been new rules, organizations, and equipment. Soccer continues to grow in popularity, and the U.S. has its own professional league called the MLS, which stands for Major League Soccer. The World Cup is also the largest sporting event in the world, but the biggest changes actually come in the equipment. Soccer ball used to be leather just stitched together and then stuffed with fur, but now we actually have extremely nice soccer balls. There's different kinds as well for different types of soccer and ages as well, and they're pumped with air. Soccer goals used to be wooden or painted on wall or even as holes in the ground, but now we have metal goals with nets. In the 1900s, there used to be no soccer cleats, and people just wore their work boots. And then they invented the soccer cleat, which was leather stitched together. But now we have different types of cleats. There's even cleats for indoor, turf, and grass, and there's hundreds of different kinds. There also used to be no uniforms, and then they said that there has to be striped and solid colored uniforms, but then they changed them, and now teams have up to 5 designs and colorways. They also made a rule that the home team had to wear a white jersey, which brings me to halftime and the rules. Science Soccer Club states that the FIFA.com or FIFA has a 140-page rule book, but I broke it down into the 15 most important. The first one is the field of play. The length of the field has to be 100 to 150 yards, and the width has to be 50 to 100 yards. There has to be 2 goals that have to be 8 yards wide. In each corner of the field has to be a 5-foot goal. And the second law is the ball. It's pretty simple. The ball just has to be 27 to 28 inches in circumference. The third law is the number of players. You can have up to 11 players on the field, which includes the goalie, but you can actually have 17 before having to forfeit. The fourth law is the uniform. You have to have a jersey, shorts, shin guards, socks, and cleats, and they have to match. And like I said before, the home team always has to wear a white jersey. The fifth law is the referee. The referee stands in the middle of the field, and his word is final. If you argue, you could be kicked out. The sixth law is assistant ref, or the AR. Assistant ref stands on the outside of the field, and they also help the main ref, and they call offsides. The seventh one is the length of the game. Usually games are about 45 minutes. They could go as low as 30 minutes, and then the half times, you have to have a maximum of a 15-minute break, but also a minimum of 5. The eighth law is the start of play. After the start of a half or a goal, you have to put the ball at the middle of the field and start there. The ninth law is the in and out play, and it states that the ball has to be completely over the line on the touchline or goal line to be out of bounds. If just a fraction of it is still on the line, then it's still in play. And also, if the ball hits the frame or the ref, it's also in play. The 10th law is the method of scoring, and it states that the ball has to be completely over the line in the goal as well. And to help with this, they've actually made goal line technology to see if the ball is actually over the line, which I have a video of. That showed that the ball was still on the line, which made it a no goal. The 11th law is offside rule. It's probably the most complicated rule, and so I have a video here to explain it.
Law 11 is one of the shorter of the 17 laws. It's also one of the most complicated and misunderstood. The player is in an offside position if he is nearer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second person opponent.
basically explains the offside rule, and it states that you can't be past the second to last defender, and the goal is always the last defender, so it's pretty much self-explanatory. The 12th law is the fouls in conduct. There's 2 cards in soccer, a yellow and a red. A yellow is a warning, but 2 yellows is you get kicked out. A red card, you immediately get kicked out of the game, and you can get those from pushing a player, just any unnecessary physical contact. You can also break the conduct, which includes cussing or just unsportsmanlike actions. The 13th law is free kicks. You get a free kick when you foul a player and the ball is immediately dead right there. There's 2 types of free kicks. It's a direct and indirect free kick. A direct kick is when you can shoot it immediately, but an indirect one, someone else has to touch the ball and then you could go to goal. The 14th law is a penalty kick. If a foul happens in the penalty box, you automatically put the ball on the X in the penalty box and you can shoot it right there. The goalie has to be on the horizontal goal line. The 15th one is a throw-in, and that's on the goal line or the sideline when the ball goes out of bounds. You throw it in, and you have to hold the ball with both hands and throw it over your shoulders. And that completes the laws, which brings us to the final half and looking at the positions. Sports and Games states that there are 11 positions on the field. There's hundreds of different formations you can use, but like a 4-1-4-1, but we're going to be looking at a 4-4-2 today, which is the most basic one. The first position is the goalie, which is pretty easy to understand. You can use your hands. The goalie is usually the most vocal one on the field because they can see everything that's going on during the game. The next position is the fullback, and they're on the left and right side of the defense. The fullbacks are usually the fastest and most conditioned people on the team because they have to go up and down the field. Next position is center back. They're in the center of the defensive line. The center back has to be vocal as well, and they are the most physical on the team. Next positions are the center midfielders. The center midfielders are the best with the ball because they have to conduct the offense, but they also play defense as well. So they have to be physical, but not as physical as the center backs. The wingers are on the left and right side of the offensive 4. They're the second fastest on the team, and their job is to cross the ball in or make runs to the goal. The last positions are the forwards. The forwards are probably the most important position, second to the goalie, and their job is to score basically while staying onside. As a recap of the game, in the first half, we looked at the evolution of soccer. At halftime, we looked at the rules and laws of soccer, and in the final half, we looked at the positions of the game. Thank you for joining me in this exciting game. Drive safely, and yeah.